in the deepest nights of utter darkness that engulfs the entire world's sky without mercy or hesitation. Not a single star shines its faint light. No moon glimmers at the distant horizon. Yet in the heart of this vast black void moves an aircraft unlike any other military plane we know. It doesn't surge forward with insane rocket-like speed that breaks the sound barrier like the F-22 Raptor or the State Route 71 Blackbird. Instead, it moves with deliberate slowness, calculated with meticulous precision for every millimeter and every second. Frightening in its absolute silence, as if it were the silence of death itself permeating the sky. It's not a massive war machine weighing 71 tons filled with the most lethal bombs. Rather, it's a phantom materialized from black metal moving forward one step at a time through heavy clouds saturated with moisture and thick fog that engulfs the air with brutality, completely invisible to the most advanced radars in the entire world. Whether it's the Russian S-400, the Chinese HQ-9, or the Iranian Bavar 373 that boasts of itself without reason. Unheard by highly advanced and precise sound detection devices that can capture the hum of a small bird 50 kilometers away in open air. Completely untouched even by advanced thermal satellites that detect heat from an orbit of 36,000 kilometers in outer space like the American Lacrosse Onyx. A real metallic phantom slipping in absolute silence and complete death-like quiet, with terrifying and frightening confidence, with algorithmic precision that knows no error, into the heart of enemy territory that is the most fortified, militarized, and psychologically and militarily prepared in all of human history across the ages. That is not a tale from Hollywood science fiction films produced with exorbitant budgets estimated in hundreds of millions of dollars like the famous film Independence Day. Nor is it a story from the fictional adventures of James Bond that have no basis in truth. Rather, it is a shocking and terrifying military reality costing a total of $50 billion American dollars. The B-2 Spirit aircraft. The American stealth bomber that was called in online forums and videos as the phantom that walks in the sky and the ghost aircraft because of its deliberate quiet and economical cruise speed that enables it to fly over enemy territory for days and weeks without any radar in the entire world detecting its presence or raising even a whispered alarm. The origins. 1968 to 1979. The journey begins from the very beginning, from the year 1968 when the terrifying Cold War reached its peak and most dangerous stages. The Soviets were celebrating their military invasion of Czechoslovakia in Prague, and America was trembling in fear of Soviet air defense missiles, the SA-5 GAM, capable of detecting every American B-52 Stratofortress bomber from distances reaching 300 kilometers in the harsh and dry sky of Siberia. At that critical moment in military history, in the laboratories of the University of Maryland far from the eyes of the world's media and government, a young American scientist of genius named John Boyne discovered a mysterious and strange material never known before, a magnetic carbon made of complex ferrite and fine nanofibers that does not reflect radar waves but absorbs them with very high efficiency. It transforms them into thermal energy that scatters within the metal body as if it were a cosmic black hole consuming electromagnetic radiation without releasing a single particle or signal from it. This was the true and fundamental birth of RAM, radar-absorbent material, the substance that would forever change the art of air warfare and redraw the map of global military power. 7 long years passed after this great discovery. On December 17, 1975, the United States Department of Defense launched an extraordinarily secret program called Have Blue, a relatively small aircraft with a strange and unusual shape resembling a sleek shark flew for the first time on December 1, 1977 for only 90 minutes above the harsh Nevada desert without being detected by American Norden radars or the famous Soviet P-18 radars. That was a true green light. The idea is not just possible but pure genius. But the real major breakthrough came on August 1, 1979 with the ATB project, Advanced Technology Bomber. It was assigned to Northrop Grumman as the prime contractor with Boeing and Vought as important secondary contractors. A very secret budget hidden within the programs of Strategic Missile Defense and Strategic Defense Initiative for Reagan. It was estimated at $23 billion initially and climbed to $50 billion by 1997. The absolute secrecy was truly terrifying. Each of 5,000 carefully selected employees saw only a tiny part of the complete aircraft. No one outside President Jimmy Carter and a core team of only 12 people knew the full picture and actual final design. Lifelong secret contracts with a penalty of $1 million for every single word spoken or photograph taken. Intensive daily FBI surveillance with hidden cameras in every corner, even in private bathrooms. Rigorous weekly lie detector tests with advanced Lafayette LR-400 devices. Palmdale Air Force Plant 42 factory completely surrounded by an electric fence operating at 10,000 volts. Fierce German Shepherd guard dogs trained for immediate killing. Nightly P-3 Orion patrols circling the area. Motion detection sensors placed directly under the ground. The first full-scale model, called YF-118, flew on July 21, 1989 above the Mojave Desert in complete secrecy for 2 hours and 17 minutes at a speed of 300 knots. No one saw it and no radars detected it. November 22, 1988. And the shocking public revelation that shocked the entire world. It came on November 22, 1988, before President Ronald Reagan himself in a historic and awe-inspiring presentation at Palmdale Air Force Plant 42. When the B-2 descended slowly and majestically from the darkness before the lenses of hundreds of world cameras, revealing an extraordinary and legendary flying wing of immense span and power, weighing 71 tons in its empty state. Its length exactly 21 meters. The wingspan exactly 52.4 meters. Its height 5.18 meters to minimize radar cross-section. Equipped with 4 General Electric F-118GE 100 turbofan engines with a combined total thrust of 69,200 pounds. Capable of carrying 40,000 pounds of precision-guided bombs inside 2 secret internal chambers with a capacity of 4 cubic meters each. Made from titanium alloys T6L4V that resist temperatures up to 1,200 degrees Celsius. Carbon fiber compressed at 5,000 pounds per square inch. And special carbon polymer composite materials coated with 36 graduated layers of RAM covering all radar frequencies from 0.1 GHz to 40 GHz. These layers are removed and reinstalled in secret microwave rooms after every 200 flight hours at a cost of $50 million per aircraft in specialized facilities in Texas. The maximum speed is Mach 0.95, meaning 630 miles per hour or 1,010 kilometers per hour at 40,000 feet altitude, where the speed of sound is 660 miles per hour. The optimal economical cruise speed is Mach 0.85. Meaning 560 miles per hour or 900 kilometers per hour at 50,000 feet altitude. This is relatively slow speed compared to F-22 Raptor fighters, Mach 2.25, or B-1 Lancer bombers, Mach 1.25. But this studied and carefully designed slowness is pure genius for hard physical reasons. Supersonic speed generates unusual shock waves called Prandtl-Glauert singularity that destroy the sensitive radar-absorbing material layers very quickly. It increases surface heat by 1,000%, making it immediately visible to thermal satellites like American ones. It generates massive terrible sound detectable from 100 kilometers by advanced ground acoustic detection sensors. Only 21 aircraft were built between 1987 and July 2000, at a cost of $2.1 billion per aircraft. That means a total of $45 billion with continued maintenance. The most expensive military aircraft in human history without question. Yet it achieved 0 losses in 30 years of actual warfare. Not a single air defense missile was ever fired at it. Now let's dive into the more terrifying stories. Stories of brilliant engineers' betrayals who turned themselves from heroes into traitors. There is the story of Thomas Cavanaugh in 1984, a graphics technician at Rockwell International. He tried to sell preliminary engineering drawings of the B-2 design to the Soviet KGB for $100,000 in a secret meeting. He was immediately arrested at Frankfurt Airport in West Germany and sentenced to 5 years in prison in a federal military court. Then came another terrifying story in the late 1990s about another Northrop engineer who sold detailed data about radar-absorbing paint to Iraq through a Jordanian intermediary in exchange for a luxury apartment and a nice Mercedes car. He was arrested in 1998 and sentenced to 12 years of harsh imprisonment. But the biggest and most alarming betrayal story came with Nasser Gowadia, an Italian-American engineer of genius born in 1939 in Naples, Italy. He immigrated to America in the 1960s pursuing the American dream. He joined Northrop Grumman in the early 1970s. He designed the revolutionary internal propulsion system for the 4GE F-118G-100 engines. He worked 25 complete years in total secrecy in the guarded Palmdale laboratories, constantly testing how to bury the engines inside the wing in a way that reduces sound to only 50 decibels during cruise and thermal signature to 1,000th of conventional aircraft. In September 2003, Gowadia began secretly communicating with a Chinese spy named Chi Mak in Torrance, California. He sold highly sensitive secrets about the Ram paint's chemical composition with every precise detail. The exact dimensions of air inlet openings angled at 45 degrees, and secret electronic propulsion codes, in exchange for $100,000 in cash every year paid in secret boxes away from sight. Thinking he was helping People's China, without realizing these secrets would be directly used in developing the new Chinese CN-H-20 bomber. The Federal Bureau of Investigation FBI tracked him secretly for 2 complete years using hidden cameras in parking lots, encrypted phone recordings, and double agents embedded in the company. Gowadia was arrested on October 28, 2005 during a direct meeting in a parking lot in Los Angeles. He was sentenced on January 13, 2006 for industrial espionage and selling military secrets to 32 years in a federal government prison in Los Angeles. However, he was released on parole in 2010 after a deal acknowledging only some of the charges. This revealed major security gaps and led to a radical change in procedures at Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri with the addition of a periodic lie detector test every 6 months, daily biometric surveillance using fingerprints and iris scans, and complete computer checks for all 5,000 engineers and workers at the factory. Now let's transition to the actual legendary missions that B-2 has executed in reality. On October 7, 2001, the aircraft Spirit of America with serial number 89-0127 took off from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri at 1800 hours local time. It flew 44 hours and 30 minutes non-stop to Afghanistan across the Pacific and Indian Oceans. It dropped 27 GPS-guided JDAM bombs on moving Taliban targets in Kabul and Jalalabad. With 30 complete aerial refuelings from KC-135 Stratotanker and KC-10 extender aircraft over the Pacific, Indian Ocean, and Arabian Sea. The crew of only 2 rotated brief sleep periods of only 20 minutes in a cramped compartment the size of a small bathroom with a folding bed, small microwave, and special odor removal system. In March 2017, the aircraft Spirit of Missouri with serial number 82-1063 executed a terrifying mission in Libya with 108 precise GBU-38/B and GBU-54 laser-guided bombs in a single raid lasting only minutes against an ISIS camp in the coastal city of Sirte. It killed 85 armed terrorists and destroyed 80 armored vehicles and 20 ammunition warehouses in a 33-hour round trip from Missouri without a single radar warning from Libyan defenses. On June 15, 2025, during severe Iranian nuclear tensions under the administration of newly elected President Donald Trump's second term, 3 B-2 aircraft executed consecutive flights lasting 37 hours each with massive ordnance penetrator MOP bombs weighing 30,000 pounds or 13.6 tons each against underground nuclear sites in Fordo and Natanz and Iraq at depths of 300 meters below ground. With pilots describing the mission in exclusive interviews with CNN and Fox News as a marathon from hell that tests the limits of body and mind and patience, wearing anti-stress G-suits, receiving additional pure oxygen from specialized tubes, and alternating control every 4 hours when one feels exhaustion and fatigue. Yet B-2 always returned safely, achieving 100% success in Kosovo 1999 with 1,000 combat hours, Iraq 2003 with 583 precision-guided bombs, Afghanistan and Libya 2011 and 2017, Syria against ISIS from 2014 to 2019, and Iran 2025, without a single air defense missile being fired at it in 30 years of actual direct combat. Now let's descend into the microscopic and very precise science behind this seemingly impossible magic. Stealth is not magic or fictional space technology. Rather, it's precise computational engineering that began in the 1960s and was completed in the 1990s. The flying wing design reflects only 0.1% of X-band radar waves with frequencies 8 to 12 GHz and L-band with frequencies 1 to 2 GHz, compared to 100% for conventional aircraft with wings and tails and horizontal components. Thanks to multi-layered graded frequency RAM layers made from carbon graphite with ferrite magnetic iron fibers and fine nanosilicon binder, which converts electromagnetic energy into heat dissipated inside the body with 99.9% efficiency, and serrated edges at precise 30 to 45 degree angles that scatter side and rear signals at 99%. And 4 F-118G-100 engines completely buried inside the airframe with round air openings angled at exactly 45 degrees that reduce surface heat to 1/1000th of conventional aircraft, plus a special liquid cooling system that prevents thermal signature for satellites. Optimal cruise speed Mach 0.85 or 560 miles or 900 kilometers per hour at 50,000 feet is perfect for unrefueled range of 6,000 nautical miles or 11,000 kilometers, where air is very thin so no supersonic speed is needed for efficiency. The rumor about extremely slow speeds like Mach 0.07 is a common error from undocumented YouTube videos in the early 2000s, contradicted by official U.S. Air Force data and Northrop documentation. Maximum Mach 0.95 in tests. But slowness preserves the sensitive paint that is repainted every 7 years at a cost of $50 million per aircraft in specialized Texas facilities. Today, in 2026, upgrades are underway for B-2 to counter new Chinese and Russian quantum radar systems, with plans to replace it with B-21 radar in 2027. But B-2 remains the true legendary icon of radar stealth. In conclusion, friends, the legend of the phantom that walks in the sky is partially absolutely true. The carefully studied relative slowness is not fictional extremely slow speeds like old rumors, but Mach 0.85 scientifically planned cruise is its greatest secret weapon, allowing global 44-hour missions without radar or thermal detection. While supersonic speed would make it a glowing target for every air defense system from S-400 to Chinese HQ-9, B-2 never lost a single mission in Kosovo wars, Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Syria, or Iran 2025, and was never detected by radar ever, achieving 99.9% penetration success rate. The real new threat comes from Chinese and Russian new quantum radar technologies and quantum radar that may detect it someday around 2030. Share your detailed thoughts in the comments. Give the video a strong like. Subscribe to the channel and press the bell button for new episodes. Thank you very much for watching.